Welcome everyone again. Like I said, you are in HR reports by position control. I'm going to go over a few reports in this class that you may be familiar with, you may not be familiar with. A lot of it will be projection reports. There will be some personnel reports like position control writer. And I think there's some reports that a lot of people aren't aware of where you can just run them in the master files where there's a report writer for position control there too. So I'll go over some the slides and then I'll go into QCC and just show you the drop downs. And if there's any questions, feel free to ask. We want this to be an interactive class. Okay. All right. So where can you find these reports? So the two places that mainly you can find reports are under the job menu and the HR report job selector. Under the job menu, the main reports you'll find are projection reports such as salary projection, benefit projection, and categories. And I'm going to go over all these reports with you guys. The other popular report that is in the job menu is the position control writer report. And that report gives account strings. So I know probably a lot of you are familiar with Personnel Downloader. And one major drawback of Personnel Downloader is that it doesn't have account strings, right? So where you get these account strings is through the position control writer report. The other popular place, like I said, was to get the reports. Reports are from HR report job selector. And these are canned reports, which are basically paid by the community and shared to the community. It's a specific report that maybe Personnel Downloader cannot provide, or these projection reports or position control writer couldn't provide, or it's difficult for them to put together, and they would pay Harris to create these special reports. And once somebody pays for it, then it's shared to the whole community. So it's a good place to, if you're having to develop a report and you're not really sure how to put one together, this is a good place to snoop around and see if that report already exists for you. All right. Okay, so the first three reports I'm going to go over are salary projection report, benefit projection report, and scattergram report, since this is budget season. So these projections can be loaded into your budget, but that's a different class. But just letting you know, like this is where you can see how the data looks, and you can keep on tweaking the data until it looks good to you, or it looks like it's correct, right? So the salary projection report projects salary for selected employees and open positions. The benefits projection report projects benefits for selected employees and open positions. And the scattergram report, maybe this might not be as popular to around, but it's a really interesting report. It projects salary and benefit costs by salary schedule, step, and range in a grid format. So you'll see it kind of like you'll see the salary schedule, and the top will be the steps, and the x-axis will be the steps, and the y-axis will be the range. And then you'll see how much FTE and salary and benefits are being used there. Okay. So what is needed for projections to run properly? Basically, you need position control set up. So your master files have to be filled out in HR Code Maintenance 2 under the position control file folder. If you want to do future projections, for example, we're in fiscal year 22 and you want to project for fiscal year 23. In fiscal year 23, you got to make sure that you have your work calendar set up. The bonus codes and chart of accounts have to be set up. The next set of data, the salary schedules, the positions and assignments, and the benefits master files, you can actually leverage off fiscal year 22 to project for fiscal year 23. So you don't have to roll all the data over if it's similar. If you think the data is pretty similar from one year to the next, right? But I know this year PERS and STIRS rates are changing. So if you want to roll over the benefits and then update those percentages, then you should do so that it reflects correctly. But yeah, also the caveat is if you do roll positions and assignments over from one year to the next, just remember you're maintaining two sets of bases at that time. So, for example, if you add a position after you rolled over all the positions from fiscal year 22 to 23, and you add a position to fiscal year 22, it does not automatically add into fiscal year 23. You will have to add it. You have to add it in two places. Same thing with changes, right? So if you make any changes into a position in fiscal year 22, then you have to change it in two places. So that's just one of the things you should be aware of. Okay, so where would you find these projections? Like I said, it's in the job menu. You just do a search, put projection in here, and you'll see all the projections you can run in the job menu. So the three I'm going to talk about, the three I highlight in the slide is benefit projection, salary projection, and scattergram. I know you see like a lot of people always do these multi-year. This is still under work in progress. So currently we'll let you know if it ever gets up and working. But right now it's still a work in progress. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is the salary projection report. So when you go into the salary projection report, here's the starting page. So you have the option to project what year do you want to project in, right? So if you want to do a future year, you can put a future year here. You want to use what year do you want to use salary schedules in? You can use the past year or the current year if you rolled it over. Employee records, this is positions and assignments. So if you want to use past year or current year, you can do that. Do you want a step advancement as part of your projection or not? You just click this button if you do. And you can filter on what kind of schedules you want. So you can do all salary schedules. You can do bargaining units. You can do some salary schedules. And then in turn, if you know everybody's going to get a raise at the beginning of the year of some sort or by percentage, you can put a percentage in here and it will project that salary information out as well. Okay. Sorting the report. So there's going to be three options in the screen to sort the report. It's abbreviation, full, and summary. So abbreviation will give you like position, salary, total bonuses. Like it's all kind of grouped together. It's not like broken out like the bonuses. So it gives you a good amount of information. But if you want more information, like more position control information, like how many days they work per week and stuff like that, you'll want a full report. Or if you want the bare bones, you'll just pick summary and it'll give you the minimum information like account strings, salary, bonus, but it won't like break everything out. And you can also organize it by name or account string. Okay, so this slide will show you, this is the report parameters where you can choose. And I'll go into the live in a second and just show you. I know this is a little bit hard to see, but so you choose the report parameters here. You can put a report title. You choose the date, FTE date you want to use, like a control date. Usually I recommend that you put the last day of the fiscal year so you can capture all the dates. There's a report option here. It says it'll be regular or vacancy. From my experience, the vacancy will still pull all the open dates, but still gives you all the filled dates. It'll put all the open dates up, open positions at top. But either way, regular will also give you the open positions as well. And then this is the last slide I was talking about, how you can sort it. You can sort it by account string or name, and then how detailed of the report you want. Also, you can sort it by bonuses or by Social Security. So you can say if a bonus has a value or not a value, you can filter those out too. Okay, and yeah, this is what the report looks like. As you see, the abbreviation one has basically all the information you want. It gives you a name, it gives you the social, I blocked it out. And then it gives you the count strings, the bonus, the salary, and the breakdown. And the full gives you some more information. It gives you like the hours per day, the days per year. It gives you the same amount of information as abbreviation, but just gives you some more position control data. Oops. And the summary, like I said, is bare bones. It's basically the name, the count string, the FTE, the start and end date, and then the salary. And this is what an open position would look like. There's no name here. It just says open, and whatever value you sign in the position, it will. That's the value it will project out. Okay. So I'm just looking at questions here. Okay. So. Okay, yeah. So when I say that an open position is going to take on the value of whatever salary schedule you put in to the position master file, this is what I'm talking about. So you'll notice that in the position itself, there's a place to put salary schedules and steps. And so if nobody's assigned to this position and you want to do projection, this is where it's going to look to take the value from. I highlighted these other areas because when I help troubleshoot issues, these are the main areas I look at. So based on your salary schedule, it's going to take these values and do a calculation. So you always want to check if these data points are correct. And also you want to make sure that if you're doing a future year projection that you have this marked as yes as a rollover. So you know it's a position that's going to go over to the next year. And you want to make sure that it's an open position. Okay, so let me go to show you guys what it looks like in the live. It's pretty much the same as the deck. I'll load up the salary projection report from the job menu.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
There's a question where, is there a default placement in the master file for open position or it's always blank?
Is there a default
placement?
Oh, like no. So you have, so right there, the slide I was showing before. Mm-hmm. Here, I'll show you here. So if you go into this, like I'm just going to pull up this random position here. When you load a position, it'll be blank here, right? Oh my gosh.
Still loading.
Okay. So right here is where you would put your step, range, and salary schedule.
So if you don't put anything, it remains blank.
Yeah. It won't project anything. Okay. Yeah. Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. Okay, so here's the window. It'll pop up this, right? So if you want to do a certain salary schedule, it pops up this grid. And you can just select certain salary schedules if you want, right? And then if you want to say like 5%, you can add it. And look, it'll say, okay, well, we're going to take this salary schedule and we're going to add this much percentage here. If you want to filter on other values, you can filter on like job code, job category, so on and so forth, right? And just put in the appropriate one that you want to filter out on, and it'll even narrow it down even further. Same thing with accounts. If there's a certain fund that you want to like to narrow in on, you can do that as well. All right. So in here, basically, you can give it a report title, right? Defaulted to the end of the last day of the last fiscal year. So like I said, there's regular or vacancy, but I don't really think there's a really difference right now, except for the vacancy. We'll just put every open position at the top. So it doesn't filter it out completely. And here's your report types. You can sort it by name or first, or you want to do it by count class. And then the three different types of reports I told you: summary, full, and abbreviated. And then you can mask the social if you want. And this is another sort sequence if you want. You can sort it by fund if you want, different kinds of funds or resources or however you guys want to do it. Okay. So that's salary projections. Are there any general questions?
Nothing right now.
Nothing. Okay. So next one I'm going to go is the benefit projection report. It's similar to the salary projection report. So I'll go by a little bit quicker. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, we have the same launch page, except for there's a show position description here.
Before, Alan, before you go to benefit projection,
mm,
there's a question on salary projections.
okay.
Is there a way to export the salary projection report to Excel?
Oh yeah, so you can do a salary projection to Excel, but you have to use the print manager to do that. So the sequence, if you're familiar how to use the print manager, where you look for patterning, then you can convert it to Excel.
So using the download feature part, and then you would have to set a preset. That's
yeah,
okay.
You do a preset. Yeah.
All right. And then another question: is there a report that shows start date to verify longevity?
Is there a report to verify?
That shows start date to verify longevity.
Oh yeah, so you can use a personal downloader to do that, to do start dates, or one of the CAN reports, I believe, has something similar to that in the HR report job selector.
I like using the personal downloader.
I think personal downloader is more efficient.
Yes. Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So the report parameter page, if you notice also, whenever you fill one of these out or change it from default, actually, they put a little star here now to let you know that it's not at default anymore. But yeah. So you can sort the benefit projection report by name or account. And then here you can select which benefits that you want to choose. And these benefit selection categories are set up in the master files for in position control. So whatever you have in the benefits master file, those are the selection options you will have here. These other selections are pretty straightforward, like SSN masking, and then this is your control date. So like again, I would always recommend you choose the last day of the fiscal year. Okay. So if you're not really familiar how the benefit projection works, I just put this slide in here. Like in the salary schedule, you determine what the benefits are, whoever is assigned to that salary schedule. So there's a benefits tab, and you check off what benefits should go to that employee if they are part of that salary schedule. The BPR master file, which is the benefits master file, that is where you will list all the benefits, such as like STRS, PERS, health and welfare, and put the percentages in there. And those percentages are basically where we use in the calculations for the benefit projection report. And then the salaries will be determined from the salary schedule and assignments. And like I said, open positions will be used in the position master file. So we'll refer to that. Okay. Okay. Like I said, if benefits stay the same from year to year, and if you want to use prior year data, then you can just use the prior year data from benefits and everything, and positions, assignments, and salary schedules. So you don't have to roll everything over and maintain two databases at the same time. But like I said, I know this year is different, that STRS and PERS is going to change. And I tested it. Like if you still want to use positions and salary schedules from prior year and use, but for prior year, you just copy over benefits this year, and you can change the rates on STRS and PERS, and it will use the new rates that you put in. So you can still use prior year positions and assignments and salary schedules and put in new benefits for this current year, and it'll project the updated benefits. Okay, and this is what an example of a benefit projection report look. So here's an open one, and it gives you like the gross salary for this particular account string. And then I selected like PERS, OASTs, and then so it tells you what the breakdown is and tells you what the total is and the FTE, and then here's a employee, and then same thing. And then the end of this account of the string, it'll tell you what the totals are. So like, the total benefits they're being paid, and so on and so forth. Okay. Any questions on the benefit projection report?
No question on the chat.
Okay. All right. So the next one, I think this report is probably not too familiar with a lot of people, but it's kind of a cool report. It's called the Scattergram report, PPS 200. So this module, the scatter report, will allow you to create a scattergram projection that displays the salary and benefits costs for each range and step. It's located in the job menu and does it in a grid format. It shows benefits and salary costs and FTE. So it actually produces two kinds of reports. So the step placement is in a grid report, or you can do a report based on account strings. And that's not really a grid report. It's basically similar to the reports that we've been looking at before, but it's pulling more from well, it's just different. It just combines it differently. So yeah, so account strings report will show names and positions, and steps will show the total dollar value in the salary schedule. Yeah, so the step report will not talk about names or anything. It's just straight salary schedule, steps, and ranges. Okay, so this is what the launch page looks like. It just straightly goes in here. You can put a report title in here. The control date is here, or you can even filter on higher date ranges. This is pretty straightforward. If you want the salary to be included, the benefits to be included, the FTE, or if you're not one of these, you just only want the base pay only. You can filter on different type of accounts. Default is combined, which gives you a report on all the benefits, salary, FTE listed. By default, these two are not clicked, right? So these, like I said, you can have two reports generated from this one job, right? But by default, if both of them are not clicked, it's just going to give you the placement category report. But if you want this account one only, you click it here. You click this one. If you want both of them, you have to click both of them. Okay. This is a list of the benefits that it's going to report on. And actually, this list is from the payroll master file. And then say like you just want to break out some of these specialized benefits. You can choose two of them, and you can put the code in that you want to be broken out from the list below. And also you have the option here to include open positions and or not. So by checking this button. Okay. So this is what the scattergram will look like. The report on the top, you'll see the salary schedule, and then you'll see the step and range, right? So this is the steps, and this is the range. And then here you'll see like the FTE, and then you'll see the salary and the benefits. And it adds it up. Like it's just like a total grid report, right? So you see the totals of 5, the total of 4, and then the total overall for this salary schedule. Pretty straightforward. It's kind of cool. It gives you an overview if you're just wondering like where we are on the salary schedule, how many people are on certain steps. So gives you a good global view. Okay, and this one is, here's the one by account. So this is similar, kind of more similar to the ones that the reports that we've been looking at from before, right? So here's the account string, and here's the names. Gives you FTE, salary amount, the benefits, and the total, and has the ground totals on the bottom. Okay. All right. So the next, is there any questions on scattergram?
No, there isn't.
Okay. So the next report I'm going to go over is the position control writer. So you use the report writer to print listings of employees and positions which they are assigned. This report can generate account strings with employees and assignments. Personal downloader, like I said, personal downloader cannot have account strings. So if you ever have a report that you're running with personal downloader, you can run this report and personal downloader and do a VLOOKUP to include the account strings if you need them. So this report is pretty important. Okay. Report, the position control writer report can be produced from an employee view or position view with assignment view. If you do an employee report and you run as an unassigned or all, you cannot have the account strings, because if an employee is not assigned to a position, then there's no account string. And if you're choosing all for employee, then those open employees will be there. So the report just doesn't work, won't produce a report because it can't provide account strings. You can sort by employee or position depending on the report. Obviously, if you're going to do an employee report, you can't, and you want to, and there's no, and you want to sort by position and there's no employees in there, then it can't sort it. So you need to choose the appropriate sorting method. Okay. So this is what the launch screen looks like. So this will always be enhanced. We only run position control enhanced. Here you would choose position or employee. Here you can choose what kind of report type. It's detail or summary. So if you choose summary, it doesn't really give you much data. It just gives you like total FTE based on what kind of report you choose. And that's all the information you basically get. So usually if you run this, you want to leave it on detailed. Here is where you declare if you want account strings or not. And then here's your control date on position active date. And right here is where you can choose to sort it. So you can sort it by position or by employee or even by bargaining unit or job code or whatever you want. And then you can limit the FTE report to if you want. If you're just looking for a certain range of FTEs, like 50% or more, then you can do that as well too. And basically, this is what the report looks like. It'll give you the position, the social, the employee ID, and FTE. And then position with account class, it'll give you the position, the employee, and then the social. I mean, not the social, the account string and the FTE. And this is similar, like you'll have to run, like use the download function and the print manager to put this into Excel. So it'll come as a, that way you can do the VLOOKUP and combine your personal downloader report. Okay. So that is basically position control writer. Then no questions. I'm gonna move on to this other position reports. So these reports I don't think are as well known either. If you want like general position reports, you can go into the master files and under HR code maintenance 2, and you'll see this paper with a pencil icon here, and that's a position reports button. When you hit that, you'll see a list of five reports. This last report, I don't think when I was testing it, it's not operating properly. So there's actually 4 reports that are valid right now. So you can run an authorized position report, employee position report, authorized position report abbreviated, and a position invalid account report. So I pulled some examples for this. So employee report, like this minimal, so minimal selections here, but this is what the report kind of looks like. It'll pull all employees and it'll give you all the position control data. Excuse me. So it'll tell you like what position they're assigned to and their supervisor. Oh, I need to take that out. And then the pay and all basically a lot of position control information here, hours per day, like stuff that you would see in the position and the assignment screen. In a nice and like a clean report. Same thing with the authorized position report. So this is this is from a position view. So you just get like you get all this position control data from the position. So it'll tell you like what the position number is, what the supervisor is, and basically all of the data that you have in the position. I'll give you one clean report, and you have the option of getting what all the count strings are are associated with this position. Excuse me. Okay. Now this report is kind of new to me too. It's like position invalid report. It'll go into all the positions and look at the account strings and see if like if you have put start and end dates in there to see if that these positions are fully funded properly, like to 100%. Okay. So I can kind of show you where this is. So yeah, it's just right here. If you go into your HR Go maintenance here, you hit this. Like authorized position report. And you have these kind of options. You can even do all positions. You can do open positions. You can do filled positions. And then if you use requirements, you can have a requirements report with position and requirements with accounts. And then if you have your organization level set up, you can do it by like your your job codes and everything set up. It can run the report here. And when you run this report, it'll end up in the print manager and you have a nice clean report. Same thing with this employee position report. You can do it by employee name, position name, or local organization level or name. So there's not many like different options, but so it's pretty easy to run these reports. All right, any questions?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. So the next one I want to talk about is HR report job selector. Okay. So here's HR report job selector. You'll see, make sure that you're on this reports tab right here, or button right here, radio button. And you'll see a list of reports here. And, or if you want to like filter down, you can do it by, if you want to do like absence tracking or personnel reports, right? So I'll choose personnel reports, right? And here's just a list of canned reports that, that you can kind of look through and see if anything is useful for your job function, right? So like an employee assignment. So let's say like you're not really sure how to run this report, and you want data, and this applies even to the reports that the projection reports we were looking at before. You can right click on here, and there's report description, report example, and if you really like this report, you can add it to your favorites, right? So this will bring you to documentation on what this report was, the intent of this report, and it'll give you like an example of how you should fill this report out. So let's try this. So it brings you to this documentation, and sometimes the documentation is a little bit old, I'll admit, but you can kind of read through this, and it tells you like how like it should be set up or not through the help function. Okay. So my recommendation is for these reports that you're running through, like just go through them and look at the titles If you're not really sure, like run them. These are just reports. They're not going to affect data, and so you're not going to break anything, and you can kind of see what generates from these reports, right? That's different from this show jobs thing. If you run this thing, then you could break data. Don't do that. Don't randomly do stuff with that. But with these, if you're in the show reports radio button, all these reports will not break anything. They are just reports. So go ahead and play around with it and trial and error and see what will fit with your needs. Especially absence tracking. If you guys, anyone here has absence tracking, there's a ton of canned absence tracking reports. Yeah. When using the writer, the spreadsheet is not able to filter and sort. So what do you mean it's not able to filter and sort? I mean, if you put it, if you download the position control writer report into Excel, you should be able to filter and sort it, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did answer it, but I guess I directed to one person and not to everyone.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it's good. Just making sure. Okay. And the last thing is like I kind of want to go over is like I guess everyone should know how to use like Personal Downloader. I'll just run through a quick basic demo of Personal Downloader. So basically that, Personal Downloader, you can do custom reports with field selections. It has its own print manager on the data tab. Outkick can be put directly into Excel, so you don't have to do the download function in Print Manager. So it goes directly into Excel and just gives you a current snapshot. And you can also save your previous searches, so you don't have to keep on recreating different searches. So how would you create? I'll just create a real quick one just to show you guys, because we have a little bit of time here. In order to start a new Personal Downloader search, you would hit this plus sign. You would define a definition. So like this is the example 9. So I'm just naming a search, and then you give it a bigger you can give it a bigger name. Okay, so she wants to know where we're going to find. I can use that leave. That's this leave for our Personal Downloader example. Okay, so I would always choose emp at. Everybody should have this emp at category, because if you choose a different one, this one goes across all the databases, I guess. So you'll get bigger hits. My opinion is always when you use Personal Downloader, the more hits you get, the better, and then you can filter down. Because if you don't get something, then you don't know you don't got it, right? So at least everything is in front of your face, and you can filter down from the information. If you want to include, you can do subs and terminated, but by default we don't include them. But if you want, you can include subs and terminated. If you want to only save the search for yourself, you can do that. And if you only want to run this one time, that's fine. You can do that as well. And here's the control date. So this is going to take a snapshot of the data at today's date. Okay. So here, like I said, you can create your own your own report. So like each employee's last name, first name are kind of the normal ones I would choose, and employee external reference. We had somebody in the chat ask for leave information. So here's the leave screen data. This one is, we're using Personal Downloader. This is useful if you kept all your leaves uniform in absence tracking. What does that mean? So like in the leave group, you always put vacation in the first box, and you always put sick leave in the second, and you always put personal necessity in the third. Then you know that if you select leave balance 1, it'll pull sick leave. I mean, from vacation. If you pull leave balance 2, because it's always going to be in the second. So it's good to try to keep your absences in a uniform way. So if you always use like comp time, then comp time should always be in the 4 slot. So if you do that, it will always pull this kind of information. It'll pull the leave, since leave is optional and varies from district to district, but that's the way to do that. And then you would save this, and then you would run it, and then we have to name the file that you want to create. So I'm going to say leave example and run it. It says it's submitted. And like I said, Personal Downloader has its own print manager. So then you just keep on hitting this until it gives you your file.
The wait time is dependent upon how much data you got.
Yeah. Also, make sure that when you go to options that you have include field headings checked off. You only have to do this one time. And then you have headers. Why is it taking so long?
Because you selected 90.
Yeah. You shouldn't take this long though.
I found a trick. If I close this and I open it, it's there.
Should I try that?
I'll go try it. I did that.
Let me see. EX99. One more try. Okay. I'm going to try Lydia's trick. This is taking too long. I ran it, right? Lee, I ran it, right?
Yeah. How did you name it?
I put leave. Oh, wait. Duh. Because I have too many.
Because
This one.
There you go.
Okay. So you have 2 ways to launch this report. The quick and dirty way is like you hit this Excel button here and it just launches it. And then you'll see Excel flashing at you. And then you'll see these leave balances here. Like I said, it'll be named differently, right? But other kind of like this employee reference here. So it's really clean, right? It's already in Excel and everything. If you want to make sure, if you know you're going to do some data manipulation, you want to use the wizard. So your data points are going to be correct. So you hit the wizard with the sunshine. It'll pop up this Excel data sheet in the back. You press open. Delimited. And then you choose comma. See, now it goes in these nice columns. And then let's say like, I didn't have a date here, but let's say like this is supposed to be a date, in the future, like if you're going to be doing like, this is like text or something, right? You want this to be text. And you know that, sometimes you do Excel manipulation and you need these attributes attached properly. You can set that here and then you press like finish. And then it'll bring the data in that way too. Oh, so yeah. So did you answer this one, Lydia, from Carla? The position control writer has information in one cell.
Did I miss a question?
Oh no. So yeah, basically, if you know how to use the downloader from print manager, it's like basically like a pattern recognition setup. So then you can tell them which bits of information should be in each cell. So it'll break it out properly, and you can save that as a preset.
We actually have an advanced print manager class. If you're interested, it's every Thursday. And so this is something that can be brought up, and then you could have some hands-on training on how to do a download and create a preset for more complicated reports.
Thank you.
All right. So basically that's the gist of what I wanted to show you guys today. If there's we have a little bit of time left, extra time left over. Is there any questions you guys have? Any other questions or anything you guys want to see?
FYI, we're going to be putting this recorded video, and also the PowerPoint presentation is going to be posted on our QCC community portal in a day or so. So we have to wait for the video to get set, but I'll be posting it there. And so anybody who missed it or were not at the beginning of the session can view the entire session using that video.
There might be a couple. I need to do some editing, Lydia, too.
There you go. Give Alan. We're going to be posting it next week.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Alvin?
Yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
So when I'm doing the personal downloader and I'm creating a report, and let's say I want the employee salary, their bonus, like if they have a credential stipend, they have a master's degree stipend. When I pull the report on Excel, it'll give me that same employee 3 times, because one line will have the master's, one will have the credential. Is there any way the report could give me just one employee and everything on one line?
One employee. Oh no, that's how Personal Dollar is set up. But if you want to run like how Lydia was talking about, you might want to attend that the report, the
advanced print manager.
And then you can run the salary projection report, and then you'll see, and the detailed one, right? And then you can use that tool, and then it'll put everything on one line.
Will an invite go out, or is it something I have to look up to register for that class?
Those classes are actually posted on our community forum, so it is available for the month of April.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. If there's no other questions, I just want to thank everyone for attending. Attendance was really great for this meeting. Made Lydia very happy.
Certainly happy.
And I'll see you guys next time. If you guys have any questions, just reach out to me, and you know how to get a hold of me through ServiceNow. So I will talk to you all later. Thanks for attending.
Thank you all.